Okay, so today we're going to be installing roll control by Hurst. This is a direct bolt-on kit. This kit number is seen here. Has everything you need to do to complete the install, and all it's going to do is tap right into these lines, which are your brake lines here, and it's going to basically allow you to hold pressure in the front and burn up your back brakes during burnouts. So here's what you get with the kit. Your kit comes with your instructions, which quick glance look really good, so I like that. Makes it really easy. And all the parts you're going to need. And basically I'm going to walk you through the process here. All right, so the first step is we need to get some tools together. So as you can see, you need a couple wrenches, a 7/16, a 9/16, a 15 millimeter and a 13 millimeter. You need a ratchet with an extension, some electrical tape, some Teflon tape, some wire stripper crimper, which is fine, some clean rags, of course, for the cleanup, because you do not want to get brake fluid on your paint. You'll peel it right off. And then a 7/16 socket, 11 millimeter socket, and a 13 millimeter socket. All right, so we spoke about the location where we're going to put the unit, where it's going to mount. It's going to mount on one of the studs here. We're going to have to remove a 13 millimeter nut, and we can mount it to the stud. And then we're going to assemble the unit. So here's how, it's very straightforward here. We're just going to take the bracket, exactly how you can see. The Hurst emblem needs to be up. And then you have your hex nut, then you have a washer, then you have a lock washer, then you have a nut at the bottom there. When you lock this down, you want to put some Loctite on this. You don't want this coming loose, but this is the correct orientation, the way that we want to see it. Also, we're going to start to install the bungs here. This is going to be the adapter for the brake lines. So they're going to be here and here. You want to use just enough thread sealant in order, or Teflon tape in order to seal it. Just one wrap around, no more than that. You do not want that getting in your solenoid. Then we had some plugs. This will be this plug here and this plug here. Also, again, same thing. Just go ahead and tighten it down until it's nice and firm and in there. And just one go around with the Teflon tape will do the job. So now that we have this assembled, we can move on to our okay, so we're now under the hood. And we're going to begin very lightly bolt this in. I mean, very careful. We're going to loosen up the nut back here, which I already did. You want to use the right tools here. It says you can use a regular tip. I use a tube wrench because you don't want to round these off, otherwise you're going to make a very fast project into a very long one. When we loosen this up, it doesn't leak a whole lot of fluid, but put a towel down here anyway, just to be safe. And then after we pull this off, or get it ready to pull off, just gonna loosen it up here, we're going to fit the bracket onto here. And then we're just going to test fit everything. So basically we're gonna slide that onto the stud there, go ahead and put the lines in. This line will go into the master, this will go into the line that leads to the ABS block. Okay, so I got it installed here, and I'm going to warn you guys, it's not easy. So move everything I need to get out of the way. I removed the 2 spark plug wires just to get them out of the way, give myself some clearance. Again, you do want to start that bottom one first, because if you don't, it's impossible to get it on after the fact. So start it there, then start your one into the master here. Sorry, start the one into your for your main. So it's right down there. Your main line for an ABS. Start it, and then put this one in. And again, you're just starting, you're leaving it loose. Then crank them down until they're just about seated, and then bolt that bolt in back over there. And then tightening everything down. Sounds really easy, but chances are it's probably gonna take you about 45 minutes, to be honest. Take your time, take a break if you get mad. It's not worth breaking anything. And we'll move on to the wiring now. All right, so the first part of the wiring is we're going to take the black wire here that's coming off the solenoid, and we're going to just go mount it, use the fisheye little adapter, and put it to a ground. Right now we're going to use this as a temporary ground. We know that's good. And the reason we know that's good is because we're going to take the cap off the battery here, and we're just going to test it to make sure that this solenoid is working. That sound means we are all good, so we can move forward. Got a couple switches here. Here's what I recommend doing. Just go ahead and put on the fitting onto this switch here, and then you have this switch also. And then we'll mark right now. Mark with side I'm going to put the positive and which side's going to be my arming, and then that's going to hook to here. Doesn't give you the sizes. I'm going to drill it out right now. I'll let you know what the sizes are when you mount this thing, and then we'll go from there, guys. So I didn't really follow the wiring or detail the wiring. I just did because I didn't want to get demonetized for all the cursing. So anyway, 12 volt. You can tap in right here to the main 12 volt, fuse it off. I already had a line going into here, so I just tapped into that and then ran the wire through a small grommet. You can probably see down there. I already used it for a couple other. I actually drilled that one. I drilled it and put a grommet in there for other usage. You're going to run two wires out. One's going to be going to your 12 volt. The other one's going to be ran here going to your Hurst. You notice I use black tape and solder. I don't like using those fittings because they give you, my luck has been that they end up leaking or end up leaking water now and corroding. So you can probably see down there, just ran the wires through, run them up and around through the center console. And then I drilled these holes and put the wires in here. So like I said, the sizes that you have to drill, this is a 3/4 of an inch and this was a 1/2 inch. And I drilled those through, piped the wiring, put the grounds in the way I needed them, and yeah, it's pretty much good to go there. If you guys get stuck, you know, leave me some comments there and I'll walk you through what you need to do. But like I said, a lot of cursing involved, a lot of scratched up arm trying to run wires. So anyway, I hope you have better luck with this. Now I'm going to move on to bleeding the brakes. Well guys, you have a couple options for bleeding the brakes on the Camaro. You can either take it to a shop and have them bleed it, probably charge you, from the last quote I had, $140 to $180 out here in California, maybe less elsewhere, because you do need the force fluid through the system to get it through your ABS block, which is over there. If you don't get to the ABS block, you'll just have air bubbles. So what I have here is Motive Products Power Bleeder, which is a beautiful thing. You just fill it with fluid. This is the 4-quart model. I put 2 quarts, but I'm gonna put about 1/4 in there right now. It has a quick connect, hooks to a fitting that will hook directly to the cap. You keep fluid in the cap while it pumps directly with the system. The GM adapter you need is the 1108. That's what I got here. So I'm gonna hook it all up and show you how to work it here. Okay, so we just went ahead and hooked the system up. Hook the cap up. There's 2 fittings. You want to use not this one. This one's really thick. You want to use the gasket. It's a little thinner. Also, it doesn't come with a quick connect, so I had to go grab one out of my air compressor kit for the quick connect here. And then you just want to pressurize to about 10 psi. Make sure it holds. It's holding. You have a little bit of line in the air in the line. It's not a big deal. So now we can go start. If you just did the front brakes and release that line, you only have to bleed the front. But because I have a lot of dirty fluid in the system, I'm going to flush the rear and the front. Now that we've verified that there's no leaks in the front there, we can increase the PSI to 15. We have 2 bleeders here, one in front and one in back. Starting the one in back, we'll go ahead and release it until the fluid starts blowing bubbles, and then we'll do the front, maybe do the same thing, and we'll go to check the pressure to make sure we maintain around 10 to 15. Alright, so went ahead and bled all the brakes. One important little feature here that I need to let you guys know is 10 psi is about all this master cylinder will take. I did put 15 in there and it just turned into a giant freaking mess. So 10 psi, that's all you need. Bleed both sides of the Brembos if that's what you have on your car, if not just, you know, regular calipers. After you just test drive it, you just want to take a look, whichever you checked. No leaks anywhere. Everything looks good. Fluid level's at the good level where it's supposed to be. And right now it's dark. We're working in the midnight hour. So tomorrow I'll do the payoff and show you how everything works. All right, well, time for the payoff here. So to activate this deal, just want to go ahead and turn the switch on. You see the light kick on. Then you're going to push your brake hard down as you can, and then you're going to hold the button. Now the front brakes are locked on. I'm gonna just put it in the first here and just pop the clutch.